Welcome to a new edition of the Famous Interviews with Joe Dimino. On this episode, we talk with CEO and professional coach Carole Stizza. She is a professionally certified ICF executive coach, a senior HR professional, and has a background in industrial organizational psychology. She has also survived 3 different car accidents and stage 3 cancer. Resilience, grit, and impatience for life has been a constant companion as she has supported her Air Force husband and moved her family around the U.S. for 26 years. Her ability to help clients navigate change, clarify what is important, and step into better conversations have led her to become a contributing author to 2 books and now releasing her own on the ASK framework, Questions that Elevate Your Influence, Performance, and Leadership. Enjoy this interview.
It's great to meet you. Thank you for taking some time out to talk to me today. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Before we get into your life as a CEO and professional coach, I want to start off with kind of the global elephant in the room the last 3 years with COVID. How did you survive that time period, and how has it changed the way that not only you live your life, but the way that you conduct business now that the world's opening up?
First, I got really good at finding comfortable pants. Comfortable clothing. That's the first order of business. It was very interesting. I spent a lot of time helping people I knew and people I coached understand how to craft the environment that they needed to be successful within the confines dictated by COVID. It was really good to talk to people about how the environment that they create actually ends up creating them. And that was a new awareness, which was awesome and interesting at the same time.
Absolutely. So let's break down exactly what you do for a living. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third graders at a career day. One of the kids looks up at you and says, "What do you do for a living?" How do you answer that?
I get to talk to really smart people about everyday challenges that surprise them.
So when you were in the 3rd grade, what was your dream? What did you want to be when you grew up?
To be a teacher. And then I started having my own family and was blown away by how protective I felt with my own kids, going, wow, I don't know if I can teach and protect my kids and all those kids too. So I shifted from teaching reading and science to stepping into science on a nutritional basis to help people be healthy. And I do apologize for the background noise. I have a new puppy.
That's fine.
There you go.
We got a new puppy at home too, so I get it. They're good.
Yeah, they're great. I wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. You're obviously a very highly driven individual, giving a lot of yourself. How did these seeds start? Talk to me about where you were born and raised and how all of these seeds grew into who you are today.
So I was born in Texas to parents who grew up on Missouri farms. And my dad wanted to be a musician. However, he also was really, really smart and went to school to be a chemical engineer, which is how we ended up in Texas. My mother was brilliant at making my dad a better man. She just had a gift for keeping him even-keeled, which we didn't realize how wonderful that was until we were in a car accident and we lost her and her parents. And my dad never really recovered. So I immediately got to see the ripple effects of when trauma or life disruption changes a leader. My dad had been a leader at work, a leader in our family, and we kind of lost him too. He just sank. And it really set a pattern for awareness for me of empathy, wondering what was going on behind the scenes of the person and how they presented to you, what shaped them. And it shaped my brother and I immensely in watching our dad not be able to recover from leaning on my mom as much as he had. So it drove, one, an appreciation of music because he found solace in music. My brother was a drummer, I was a pianist, and we just tried to support him through music. We were just a family trying to soothe one another through that. So the creative process was there, but I had my mother's knack of reading people better than my dad. So he suddenly started to rely on me to read people in a crowd when I was with him. A little bit of pressure for a 6-year-old who then grew up underneath that lens, but it honed a really great craft and sitting with people in discomfort, being able to lean in to difficult conversations, difficult situations. Nothing really scared me after that when it came to people going through stuff. And I didn't find coaching until within the last 10 years. My gift was then working with organizations as facilitators, conflict negotiation. I worked a lot within HR roles where team engagement, leadership, and team involvement or heavy transformation needed to happen for people to stay. One of the funnest jobs I got to do was as a consultant with the National Confectioners Association, and I would handle all of their registration. And because people would show up and somebody had forgotten to register them, the price to attend was rather high compared to the pre-registration. And I got to sit there and work that out with them. And that didn't scare me at all. And everybody was like, I would hate that job. You know, I love these people. These are amazing people who are human. We just have to figure out how to get them into the show, paying the price they need to pay, and working out the alternatives so that they know someone's listening. Yeah, I think I went on a little bit of a rabbit hole there for you.
You're good. No, you're good. Everything's great. That gives me a really good timeline and a backdrop. And what I want to do off of that is, you know, we all really are motivated by those important people in our lives. Who's been a hero or a role model for you?
People in history, women in history have been fascinating for me to learn about. You know, that question, if you could ask anybody at the dinner table, who would you include, was always a fun conversation. But I had two teachers, both English teachers. I had a drama teacher who could get the football team to be in the drama shows, which was, I thought, phenomenal as an original influencer of things. And then there was my uncle IB, was probably my biggest champion. He quick with humor, quick to laugh, and he was always very present with you when he was there. And it taught me the value of being present. And I was just grateful that one of my two children also has that brilliant gift of just being very, very present. It's those, I don't want to call them minor role models, but the people you least expect in a family tree to have the biggest impact. That was my uncle. He was a World War II vet from the Navy. My other uncle was a World War II pilot in the Air Force over Normandy. But between the two uncles, it was my mother's brother, that Uncle IB, that taught me just the value of a laugh, of complimenting in public, criticizing in private. The small but very powerful traits that leaders today emulate who have a great following, who have people who refer to them often as teaching those small but huge lessons. That would be Uncle IB.
So if you can meet anybody alive on the planet right now and spend a little time with them, who would it be?
Oh, I would love to spend time with Brene Brown. I would love to spend time with, the name just escaped me. I hate it when that happens. I would say I'm gonna do a firm stop with Brene Brown, and the reason why is, one, I love her work, but two, she's a great researcher, is very transparent about her journey, but when she got all the attention, in order to do the service she wanted to do, she had to form a company to do that. She was forced into a CEO role that she didn't see coming. And I love those stories of unexpected scaling, where an idea took off, and I had no idea, but now I have to do this, and I have to do this, and I have to do this. So they're an unexpected CEO that has figured out how hard it is to be a leader when her research is on leadership, which I find fascinating.
So as a highly driven individual, I'm curious, every day we wake up, we have things that we want to do, goals that we want to accomplish. What is it that drives you every day? What gets you out of bed? What makes you go through your day?
The recognition that I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. This is awesome. I'm not dead. From someone who has survived 3 different car accidents, all stopped and turning left. So I'm not scared of driving, just hate left turns. And a very surprised cancer survivor story 10 years ago. I do not take life for granted. I am blessed to be here every day. And so there is this wonderful, mysterious question is like, why am I still here? What am I designed to still do? Talk to? Who do I get to be or be with? Why am I here? Because I'm not dead yet. There's got to be a reason. I'm not a cat, but I feel like one. So let's make this count. And that's really what makes me jump out of bed every day.
So at the end of that proverbial day, how do you look back and quantify a good day? How do you say that worked?
I look at the wins of the day, what went right, and what did I learn. And if I can have at least one thing in each of those categories, that is the best day ever. And often there's like 15 to 20 in each of those categories. So there are those days when you have a cold or somebody gives you a virus and you don't feel very good. But the win is you're still here. What did I learn? Learned how to be healthier, learned how to not take my health for granted. I sound like the, ray of sunshine on a gray day, but positivity doesn't come naturally to me. I have to intentionally choose it. And so looking at what goes right and what did I learn is a way to keep my perspective in that zone so that I love the day I had.
So if you have a dream tonight, you run into the 20-year-old version of yourself, and you could give that younger version of you a piece of advice based on the wisdom you've gained, the roads you've been down in life, what would you tell your young version?
I would tell my younger version to learn how to love yourself now. Do not depend on how other people love you to understand how lovable you are. I didn't get a lot of verbal affirmation in the love department growing up. I've since learned it's an inside job, and I really wish someone had said, here's how you do it. Here's how you sit down and fall in love with who you are. Date yourself. Understand the value you present to the world that has no relation to how you look or your title. And live your life fully, loving yourself so that other people will love you and you'll recognize it. Because I didn't recognize love in my 20s. I was married. I still have a fabulous husband. But I didn't recognize what love looked like or felt like. And that was a big deal.
What's been one of the best client responses you've ever gotten, a fan letter, so to speak?
The best has been an email like a day later, even sometimes a week. One of the best. I helped the gentleman understand what his strengths were when people at work were telling them they were weaknesses. And it really sank in for him. And he got his dream job. And that email was like, you did this. You helped me. You opened the window. You helped me see and test perspectives and test assumptions and really see myself in a new light, and I have the best job ever. Thank you. It's those type of aha moments. We call them aha moments or light bulb moments. But as a coach, our whole job is to help you collect more light bulb moments that shift your life and your work exactly in the direction you want it to go.
What's the thing that you're the proudest of in this life? Everything you've done and everything you've accomplished and been through. What are you the proudest of?
My automatic response is going to be my kids, because even though we're all works in progress, they're continually showing me a new side of themselves and myself and the world, because they're a different generation, and they help me see through their eyeballs the world they see differently than mine. That's my first. The second is really finding ways to fall back in love with my husband and our marriage, because when I do that, I have the freedom to then love what I do. And that has been just a very big blessing. On the work side, the proudest thing I think I've ever done is step back and give myself space and permission to go after do exactly what I want to do when I didn't even know how to do it well yet. And when I stepped in to go, I need to be on the people side of the leadership equation, which took me from internal departments within human resources to coaching. That's where I belonged, and I still belong, but I didn't know it until I just took the leap.
So everyone out there has a perception of you, your family, your friends, your clients, but ultimately you live your life. You have a perception of yourself. Who do you think you are?
I'm a lot more rebellious than other people think I am, which is funny because that actually came out in an assessment. In the world of assessments, we offer assessments to clients, and I always take them and a 360, and it came back that people thought I was much more conservative or going with the flow and I go, oh, okay, they don't know me. I haven't been brave enough to show them the real me inside. And that was a good challenge for me because I spent 26 years being my husband's spouse in the military. I mean, the military even calls us dependents. It's really marginalizing. Hate it. But you're asked to support their career and to not cause waves. I'm a wave causer. Love it. But I did it behind the scenes. So now my friends don't know me in that manner, and I get the challenge now of revealing myself to them over and over again. And they're like, this is a side of you I've not seen before. And I go, I've always been here. I'm just letting you in now. And that's a big deal.
So if anyone out there wants to learn more about you, hire you, anything related to your world, where is the best place for them to go?
Two things. I have a book on Amazon called The Ask Framework, and I have a website. We all have websites that say, hey, we're here. Here's our footprint. And in that website, it has all my information. It's relevant-insight.com. Or go to LinkedIn, Carole Stizza, and I spell my Carole with an E on the end, and Stizza is Stizza. Kind of like pizza, but not with a P, with an S and a T.
I get it. That's wonderful. Carole, hey, this has been great. Thank you for opening up, letting us into your world for a little while. Good luck with everything. I appreciate it.
You too. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another famous interview with Joe Dimino, where we cover the world of art, literature, business, spirituality, music, and so much more from around the globe. If you want to hear more interviews, visit the Famous Interviews with Joe Dimino channel on YouTube. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks again for listening, and until next time.